Yes, like I said, I was supposed to go to Ole Miss, and it was once they found that out, it was kind of like, well, I want you to go to Grambling instead.
But see, believe it or not, that's the $100,000 question. My mother asked me the same question.
Yeah.
Was it my fault?
Right.
When I found out about Davian, because everybody thought that by me being same gender loving, that I would have an easier time accepting my child, I asked the same question. Was it my fault?
Oh, man.
Because I felt like people were going to equate him with me, and
Right.
that I had an influence on him in some form or fashion. So I asked the same question. So I think it's a general question because, especially if you don't see it coming. Some parents, they know they have little feminine boys.
Right.
You kind of see it coming.
Yes.
Or girls, really masculine girls, you can see it coming. But the ones that catch you, on left
Off
field,
guard.
yeah, you don't see it coming. I
Right.
didn't see him coming.
Right.
I didn't see the signs. I didn't see him I did not see him in my purses or my pumps
Right.
when I was wearing them.
You still wear them.
She didn't have no purses and pumps.
I'm
She had
cutting.
cowboy boots and hats and Wranglers.
But no, this is really serious because I think we might be helping somebody today, and that's one of the principles of our relationship unleashed.
Mhm.
This lady asked us, Virginia. She said, "Okay, if you were in a building and you are out there trying to help people, and when they walk in your front door, what would happen? What would they get when they walk out the back door? So when we receive people coming to our organization, and when they exit, what kind of change will it transform from these people?" So right now, we're helping transform people through these conversations and these kind of dialogues, because people that haven't told their family not accepting them, they make it say, "Hey, Mom, tune in to this radio show. Hey, Mom, go pick this magazine up and read this article," and
Right.
walk out and throw the book on the table and leave.
Right.
And that's kind of their way of telling their parents, because I've had a lot of people ask me this same question.
Right.
How do I tell my parent and all these things? And actually, I told her what you told me, because she's in college. Okay, girl, you might want to wait.
Right. Right.
Especially if you depend on your parent and you're not ready for what you think might happen, you might want to wait.
You might want to wait.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I have. That's exactly what I tell people
But
too.
see, I got bust out, so I couldn't wait.
I don't agree with that.
What?
Wait.
Waiting.
No, but-
Well, you gotta weigh it, because I asked her, you kind of know your parents. And
Right.
she was like, yeah, they very conservative Christians. You might want to wait.
Right.
I mean, hey, it is what it is. So you telling me to wait?
Listen,
Then what if the waiting leads to?
you don't
Suicide.
want, that's what I'm saying. You don't
Well,
want them to tell it
Right.
and then get ostracized or disowned and then turn to
Then
suicide.
turn
At
to
least
suicide.
if she's graduated, she's independent, she can take care of herself, and if they say get out, she's already in her own place.
Right. It
You
makes
know.
more sense for real, Clemens, because
That was just my logic for her.
no, I think
I
it's logic. Period. Because if you're a child, you are a child. You have to live with your parents.
What's
You
the
have
age
to-
of a child?
You just
Did
had
you tell them to wait?
If you're in college and you're not working, the
I
parent can claim you as a dependent until you graduate 22.
Right.
So you're still a child.
You're still a
I can
child.
carry you on my insurance.
Mhm.
You can file you as a
And taxes.
dependent until you're 22.
Right.
But what I'm saying is the suppression is going to lead to other things.
Well, you kind of have to weigh that. We just had a little guy that got put out when he left, and he told his parents.
Okay.
So who was out there to take him in at 17?
Well,
Right.
that's why we're doing this, and hopefully within the next couple of years we will have some organization or our organization to take kids in. It's people out here who would do that,
He
but
said the next couple of years, so he'll be 22.
well, actually, the MGLCC does that right now. They help homeless gay kids. But my point is this: the suicide rate will go up if we continue to tell these kids to suppress these things. The drug addiction, the prostitution.
No, we didn't say suppress.
No, not
I
suppressed.
can't talk to my parents because
they probably couldn't talk to their parents anyway.
Okay, let's just say this. Okay, if you are a heterosexual person,
all right.
and you want to, as a child, within the age all the way up to 22,
All right.
you don't, certain things you're not going to talk to your parent about,
Now my question is why?
because for one, you're doing something that they don't want you to do. You may be having sex,
Mm-hmm.
and you're a teenager or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something that you can be. I'm
Uh-huh.
not saying don't be who you are,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
but you don't have to go and tell your parents. I felt like I needed to go and tell my parents because I was about to live my life out.
What if the parent asks?
If they ask you,
Yeah.
then if somebody asks, then I just say, hey.
And that's how it was real. I mean, my parents, you know, they had an inkling, so they just came and asked me one day. And I couldn't lie. Well, I kind of lied. I told him, he was like, "Are you gay?" I'm like, "Well, halfway." I thought that was softer than blow it.
What was your rationale for halfway?
I didn't know that.
I was like, well, maybe they won't be so mad if they think I still like dudes. So, but yeah.
That didn't work.
That wasn't the best decision.
You know, what's the B? That's the next radio show we have coming on.
Right. I just feel like, you know, if you're asked, then you have to have that discussion.
Yeah.
But if not, just be you. Just be who you are and just let it like they want you to do. They don't want you to talk about it. Let's not talk about this until you are in a position where if you tell them, they're going to say, well, get out.
Yeah, if they hadn't asked me, I wouldn't have told
But
them.
listen, David,
Yeah.
what I don't agree with is that you have these adults, like 30s, 40s, 50s, still walking around bringing my roommate home.
Yeah. Grown
I got
and
you.
a child.
What's his name? Jerome. Y'all been roommates 10 years.
Yes,
And
yes.
you still talk about my friend, and you know you haven't
My
been
best
able to
friend.
talk, you know, to your parent in a civil way so they can understand you. Now, you know, then I'm on the other side with that one.
Yeah.
I'm on the other side.
I'm still saying that I do not believe in suppressing and hiding from my. That's a problem right now.
But you have kids 10 years old, David, that identify with being gay.
Well, maybe that
or
would help
lesbian.
our relationship. If you don't talk to me as a parent and you don't talk to me as a child to the parent, then how can we have a true, real relationship?
You're not talking to a
What?
parent.
Right.
You're not talking to an adult. Sometimes those kids are talking to children.
Right. Like me.
Like we were saying earlier.
At 10 years old, I knew I was a lesbian.
Okay.
My mother wouldn't have listened to nothing I had to say because she
Right.
would have figured I was too young
How
to
do you
even
know
have
that?
those feelings.
Right.
I know my mother.
See, that's the point right there. You don't know because you didn't try.
You didn't tell me.
Because if I would have told you, I think things would have been different. I thought you wouldn't understand.
See?
That's my. But that's
There
my.
you go. You just answered your own question.
That's so we should break that wall down.
But
But you're
the
gonna
mind of a child can't rationalize all of that right now.
If you would have come to me as a mother and said, "Hey, whatever you're going through in life, don't be afraid to come to me and talk to me."
You was get you
That's if you have a parent that's going to be that. What if you don't have a parent that's open-minded like that? If you do, I want you and I urge you to go and speak to your parent.
Uh-huh.
Talk to somebody if you can't talk to your parent.
You know that.
But if you don't,
Mhm.
if you know that how your parents are or
Mhm.
your guardian or whomever, then go to someone else. Go to the LGBT community, the community center.
What's
Talk
that?
to somebody.
Get your ya. Get your ya, honey.
You see what I'm saying?
You weren't trying to talk to me.
Clemens ain't trying to hear me.
No, he just played a song in the background.
That's her
John is
song.
playing.
That's her song.
But no, I agree with you totally, Virginia. But what I'm saying is this: I hear you. I totally agree. I have couples right now who I talk to who are afraid to talk to their other significant other
What you mean?
in counseling. They would not tell them certain things.
Yeah, but that goes back kind of like to your transactional allowance.
That's all I'm saying.
So, but in the relationship, two adults having
Okay.
a relationship,
Right.
you already know that this person have issues. And they can't handle you going to talk to them about certain things. Especially if you've been with them over a year. You know what, you can't have an honest relationship with your partner. You already know that.
Well, okay, let's go. Okay, for a parent,
That's
if a parent,
called dysfunctional.
Right.
well, guess what? A parent is dysfunctional. If you have a child that's
Very.
growing, listen.
Right.
If you have a child that's growing up between when he hits 10 years old, he or she 10 to 15, they're about to change totally.
Very.
Right.
So you know now with the society, with the internet, with the Twitter, Facebook. Hey, let me sit down and talk to you. If you're experiencing anything, sex, your sexual orientation, your sexuality, whatever, feel free to come to me.
Hold on.
That's a parent. That's someone who's educated and not
Thank
narrow-minded.
you. Give me high five, V. What world you live in?
Oh, I'm
honey?
I know.
No.
We got men don't even know how to change a diaper, and you're talking about going and sit down and have a civil.
And that's the world we live in right now.
Right.
And that's the problem.
We have
Right.
classes called
You're surrounded by it.
parenting.
You're right.
You're
Right.
outnumbered.
So they do not know how to change a diaper.
My point is this:
Or even
if
fix
these
a
conversations would have been had, a lot of this could have been avoided.
It could have.
Go to World Stop Hip world star hip hop and tell me these people gonna have a conversation with their child. What they're gonna do is like Empire did when the little boy came downstairs with the scarf and the pumps on, put him in the garbage.
And guess what? The boy made the daddy respect him.
He
Later in life, as an adult.
Well, guess what? I may have to glue something.
But that's what we're saying.
Hey.
That's where the kids end up committing the suicide because they've been rejected.
Right.
Or
They don't
suppressed.
feel loved. We didn't say suppressed.
We're not saying
But David, you
suppress
was
who you
running around
are.
doing everything. You didn't suppress nothing, honey. You just didn't tell.
No. I was running around trying to cover up stuff, doing stuff. Aha, that's
See,
suppression.
that's what I did not want to do.
And that's exactly what I did.
That's what I did
That's
not want to
exactly
do.
what I did.
It wasn't it wasn't
But you-
really because of my
You
parents.
didn't suppress nothing.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
I was in the club at 17.
Okay, if you were suppressing,
Well,
you would
I
have
was
been
at
in the
Denim and
club
Diamond
that I go
at
to.
17.
Oops.
Oh.
Well, I was in the family fair at 16. I was at the family fair at 16.
I don't know anything about that club. That's when the cavemen were alive. Paige, I didn't have clubs in
Paige, you
Mississippi.
just-
Y'all went to the hole in the wall. All right, ladies. Y'all have like 2 minutes apiece. We got to wrap up shortly. You want to say anything to your listeners, to your followers, to your fans, to your families, feel free. Go ahead.
Let's just some shouts out.
This is exactly what I want to say to everybody. If you cannot talk to your parents about your sexual orientation or anything, find someone to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
A friend, someone in the church that you can trust. That
Ooh,
even
don't say the church.
wait, I'm just saying. Why they can come to your church
Yeah, we're-
and talk to you. I'm
open
saying
and
find
give
someone that you can confide in, because that, Clement, is where it starts.
Well,
I totally agree.
That's how our
That's
church
where it
was
starts.
birthed.
I agree.
Right.
Because of people getting rejected and kicked out of their own churches.
Right.
That's
right.
how our church was born. That's why Dr. Gooch and Davian, we went out and.
My name is David.
Whatever. This one next to my right.
Skeeter.
She named you.
Did you see a Davian on here?
That's his name.
I always
They
wondered.
messed it up in spelling it, so his name is Davian. Anyway, that's how our church was birthed.
How you gonna tell your
again.
mother how to?
I was drinking.
Okay, so
I just really want to urge people to, and relatives, people, like Clement said, be open-minded, pick this magazine up, and if you have a child that you think of anything, be a parent and go to that child and ask them.
Even if you don't think,
Open it.
just go to them and talk to them.
Yeah, just
Kids love to talk.
yes, they do, and they want to feel like they can talk to their parents.
That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
Come on, Paige, Hannah Montana, Munchkin.
Pretty much along the same lines. Talk. I wasn't.
talking to my.
Okay. As you could probably tell, I don't talk much, and I didn't talk a lot back then. So
You
I.
asked Virginia for that phone though.
and then I ran away from the computer.
She didn't ask me anything. She's a good writer. She's an IT major, so she.
All right.
Yeah. So
Inbox.
yeah, be yourself. Nobody can live your life but you. Nobody has to deal with the consequences of your life but you. So be you and be happy.
Right.
I totally agree. I get the last words to the lady of the house. But we are trying to get an additional hour here on the Unleashed Voice. So if you would like to help us get this extra hour so we can have these type of conversations that are not had in the homes, in the churches, all the above, please donate online. Our website is relationshipunleashed.com, and click on the donation link and help us out to get an additional hour here on the Unleashed Voice. In the words of this great poet by the name of Tupac Shakur, only God can judge me. Be yourself, and be yourself. Go ahead, Mother Dearest.
Hey, this been a wonderful show.
It has.
And I don't know. It's almost equal to the show we had last week, with What's the Tea.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And this is like really important for our community to have a voice. And that's why we call it the Unleashed Voice. So people can come on this radio show, tell their story, educate the listeners, help other people that are in the struggle, trying to come out, trying to identify where they fit in and where they stand in society. You're equal to everyone else. You're no lesser than anyone else. And one of the things that I took away from our empowerment workshop was a powerful statement Dr. Daniel Black made when he talked about validation. And he said, and this is for anyone that's out there that's struggling with acceptance from their parents or sisters or brothers or anyone. He said, we talk to God and we tell God everything about us. We tell God all our troubles, all our struggles, all our hopes, all our dreams. But you turn around and you're afraid to talk to your parents, your mother, your father. And he said, in essence, what you've really done, you've made these people your God instead of God being your God. So don't make anybody walking around your God. These people are not your God. They are not God. And at any time, at any moment, you have the power to take the power back. And then you don't need to be held under any kind of ram or validation from anyone, including your parents. And I say this as a parent of a same-gender loving child.
Don't put me in it.
And I mean, and it is really, really important. It's important because people are killing themselves.
Yeah.
We had a lady from the Borough White. She was here from the Child Advocacy Center, and she gave us some numbers about how many of our LGBTQ children that commit suicide, especially in our transgender community. That's one community that we have to pull up in the same gender gay community and understand that there is levels, there are dynamics, and that there's no simple answer, there's no simple explanation, because the L in LGBTQ, we're all different. You're different, I'm different, Paige different, so we're like the shades and the variations of the colors. Right. It's not one thing you can define.
Right.
And I hope the listeners were able to take what the L in LGBTQ is. And if you need a little more explanation, there's a wonderful article in the Southern Soul magazine featuring Virginia and Paige as you get to know a same-gender lesbian couple in a relationship. And they ask a lot of questions and they give excellent answers. So if you still can't figure it out, go pick that magazine up. Or you can keep tuning in to us and we keep hoping to break this barrier down.
And stop giving powerless people power.
Oh, yes. Say that again, Clement.
That'll preach. Stop giving powerless people power.
Amen.
I totally agree. We're here every Saturday at 5 p.m. on AM 990 KWAM Talk Radio. We are the unleashed voice for the LGBTQ community. So Virginia Paige, we need you all back. Will you come back?
Oh, yes, definitely. Definitely.
It's a party at Eddie's house tonight. Can I invite everybody to your house?
Hey,
No.
say hello to your mom.
Tell your mama hello. She's the dog track.
I had no parts of that, mother.
Eddie family from West Memphis, Paige. They milk cows like your family in Mississippi.
Oh, no.
We don't milk cows.
We love to talk about stuff.
They doing it again.
No.
See y'all next Saturday.